Hey guys, I just want to say right before we even get started on this video that this video is sponsored by Trash Bag Ghost. This is their new cream-colored Return of a Living Dead licensed shirt that they did, and the back of it is gorgeous. This is printed on a really nice tee. They don't skimp on quality at all, guys. Look, you can even see they got the label thing on the sleeve. It's a nice shirt. It's a nice when you lift it up, you don't see through the t-shirt like you do on some of those cheap shirts you see at Spencer's. I love the fit. It's a nice shirt. The quality is there. I love this shirt. Very, very nice quality. Check those guys out. Alright guys, so welcome. Listen, today's video is a really cool one. This is another example of why going out and about can really work in your favor. So, we're at a time now in the physical media world where Scream Factory technically can be considered a company that has a vintage lineage, right? A lot of their stuff initially was coming out in DVD. Now, they had Blu-ray counterparts for a lot of the big stuff that they were doing. You know, like they would have their Blu-rays releases for They Live and Prince of Darkness and all that, but they would have DVD releases as well. I have a number of Scream Factory DVD releases, but what I'm starting to find in the wild, and this is really cool, is the IFC partnership that Scream Factory had. Now, they were putting out a lot of cool titles. We got some bangers today. Not everything was Scream Factory IFC, but some of it was. So what I'm going to show you guys today is the cool vintage horror stuff I found at the flea market. Shout out to my pal Zach, who works over at that flea market. You know who you are, dude. Thanks for the hookup. Awesome guy. Treats me like a king when I go there. So I got stuff that some of the younger viewers probably have never seen in their life, so let's get started. Okay, so the cooler things, really all of it's cool, but some of the different things that I got was this. Now listen, I am a semi-retired VHS collector and Laserdisc collector. Basically, I have what I want, right? But if I see something that I don't have that I can't pass up, I'm not walking out without it. Now, this is something, if you are into collecting VHS, I would consider this the Rolls Royce of VHS releases. We're going back to Anchor Bay, right? This was the earlier days of Anchor Bay. Holding this case just feels amazing. It's a shame that this wasn't like the standard for VHS releases, but Anchor Bay made it the standard for this release. The movie in question is Lucio Fulci's Zombie, what I consider to be the greatest Italian horror movie of all time. Look at this VHS release of Lucio Fulci's Zombie. Collector's Edition widescreen presentation. This box is so heavy and dense, and this clamshell is like nothing I've ever seen. And I love how it's got Collector's Edition on it. As you can see, horror VHS. It's got Dolby Surround. This was a Video Treasures and Anchor Bay release, which means that the VHS quality probably isn't going to be the absolute best because Video Treasures were a little bit of a cheaper manufacturer, but this was a Anchor Bay version. So let's open this up. The tape is a little bit boring looking, right? It just says that. But what's cool about this VHS release is check this out. It has, you ready for this? A VHS release has art on the inside. That's insane. Now, it's not something you would technically want to reverse, but it is something you'd want to pull out and look at. Now, if this had a clear clamshell, that would have been even cooler, because then you would be able to read this. But, you know, there you have it. So, he had a few more. He had I Spit on Your Grave and Cannibal Ferox, which was a Grindhouse releasing VHS that looked just like this, that as soon as I pulled out the lot, I regretted not grabbing, so I'll probably go back and grab those. But I grabbed one, and that was Lucio Fulci's Zombie, so amazing. You can't really beat that. So let me just show you guys this next, then we'll get into the cool DVD releases. CED, let me explain this for a second. Just give me a second. This is a home video format. This is called a capacitance electronic disc system. It's called a CED. This was technically the competition to Laserdisc, more so in the scale of size. But the way these work they're basically like vinyl records, the way they play. Now, you're probably saying, well, Christian, how do you get the movie out? Do you just kind of pull that tab? Wait a minute, the tab's not opening. It doesn't open by human hands unless you physically break this thing and rip it out. What happens is you would take this thing, you would push it into the player, the device would grab onto these little nubs and be able to get the pressure point to pull this out, where you would just have, you'd pull the tray back out, this casing, but this inside piece would be done. And when you were done with the movie, you would take your tray, shove it back into the player, and then it would snap it back together. You can look up videos of these being used in without the tops on, so you can see how the electronics work. The picture quality was not great. The sound quality was not great. Not really better than VHS. Maybe they looked okay, brand new, but they definitely wear out. But they are cool, big releases, and I got scanners. So when did CED go away? CED went away in 1985. Some of the last prominent titles to come out on CED was like Back to the Future, for instance. Possibly Rambo First Blood Part 2 and Friday the 13th Part 5 was the last Friday the 13th to get a CED disc. There might have been a few straggler releases in 1986, but as a whole, the CED market collapsed in 1985. So Scanners was, what, 1981, 1980? So, yeah, this was a 1980 movie, and it's 1983 Avco Embassy. Very, very cool. How do you not like that? That's a Scanners CED. I had to get that for the collection. Are you kidding me? That's just wicked. So, yeah, very, very cool. So we did that, and we did the Zombie VHS. I implore you people to look out for this. This just doesn't feel old school. The case is so nice for 1998 that, like, it's a shame that this wasn't the standard. All right, guys, so I got some funny titles that we're going to look at, but most of these are, well, I've got a couple Scream Factories. I got a Blue Underground, and then I've got an IFC Midnight. But this first one is funny. We have to look at this, okay? So check this out. Still in the shrink wrap. Scarecrow Gone Wild. He's the death of the party. Got this for $1. Really even cheaper, but I got this, you know, the price on this was $1. Now, the Scarecrow franchise is an interesting franchise. It's ridiculous. It's over the top, right? But there were some prominent names in the series. One of them, I believe it was Scarecrow 3, he cuts to the chase, which is a great tagline, had Tony Todd in it. That has to be the majority of the budget right there, but he was in it. This one has the pleasure of featuring former UFC champion and WWE superstar Ken Shamrock. Most dangerous man alive. So, I have this shrink wrapped. There's a part of me that is just like dying to watch this, but because this has never been opened before, I'm struggling. I don't know what to do. I will probably open it up because I want to watch it. And how much is this really going to be worth one day? Right? Probably not that much. So maybe I can do like on TikTok or an Instagram reel or maybe even a YouTube short. I'll post it on all my short content. I'll do a DVD unwrapping of Scarecrow Gone Wild to see what the inside looks like. But yeah, man, this was how back in the day, the DVDs, you could see security device enclosed. They didn't play. It was really hard to steal DVDs. Not that I practiced or anything, but my point is, you know, boom. Now they keep things in those cases a lot of times. But Scarecrow Gone Wild, man, how do you not love that? So yeah, there we go. Next up, guys, I haven't seen this one, so this is an interesting thing. I got this for a couple of reasons, right? Number one, my interest peaked when I heard about this movie. Number two, I don't own it. And number three, it has Robert Englund in it. Now, being a big Nightmare on Elm Street fan, I like to go out of my way to actually look for movies that have Robert Englund in them because, you know, the reality is Robert's done a lot of really cool movies, and in his latter career, he's been a part of movies that were going to be, you know, little smaller movies, but the movies were actually really good and got a good reputation. This was a movie that I've heard of, had a pretty good reputation from, and I got it with slip, with the hype sticker on it, and this is a Scream Factory release, and I can't wait to watch this. What am I talking about, ladies and gentlemen? I'm talking about none other than from 2018, which is, God, it feels like that was yesterday, but no, that was 6 years ago. Jesus. The Midnight Man. The Midnight Man. From the director of Cabin Fever, starring Robert Englund. So this is directed by Travis Z, and this is a Robert Englund movie with the classic Scream Factory hype sticker, IFC Midnight. And let me just read to you about this, okay? Let's read this. On a snowy night here in grandmother's sprawling mansion, teenager Alex and her best friend Miles discover a mysterious box hidden in the attic. Inside are instructions for the midnight game, an ancient pagan ritual said to summon the player's greatest fears. It all seems like harmless fun to Alex and Miles until they unleash the terrifying spirit of the Midnight Man, an unholy force who pits them against the darkest demons and dares them to survive. Horror legend Robert Englund co-stars in this terrifying supernatural game of cat and mouse. Play at your own risk. So there you can see the man right there, Robert Englund. Very excited to see this. It looks like it's just going to be a really fun, creepy little monster movie. The Midnight Man. What's not to love about that? They show him right there on the front. I mean, yeah, Scream Factory. Let's look at the case and everything, because this is what was cool about the Scream Factory DVDs. So we'll see if we can reverse this. This was the IFC partnership days. So clear case. Very, very cool. Scream Factory, IFC, not rated, that sort of thing. So nice clear cases on those DVDs, and we can reverse it to the other artwork, which I like a lot better. So guess what? We are, in fact, going to reverse it to double up the art, because I don't want that other art on there. It's not as cool. So even if you found this in the wild like this with a clear DVD case, I would have been like, oh yeah, I'm grabbing that. It's a Scream Factory title. But to have the Midnight Man with the slip, forget about it. Forget about it. I wasn't leaving without this. So I'm excited to watch this. I really am. So there's the Midnight Man. Next up, guys, this was really cool. This is from the good folks from Blue Underground, right? So Blue Underground actually had a pretty solid DVD run. I was doing some research before this video, just looking at the titles that they put out, and Blue Underground actually put out some really cool titles, and some titles I was doing research on consistently sold from format to format, and even upscaled versions from format. One of the titles, for instance, is Maniac. Maniac sold very well on Blue Underground DVD, then it sold very well on Blu-ray, then they did the 3-disc Blu-ray release, which sold exponentially well, and then the 4K for Maniac sold well. But here's the title for Blue Underground that I got. I love this movie. Are you kidding me? And we'll see if there's reversible art. I haven't checked yet. The Blind Dead Collection from Blue Underground, the movie in question, is a film by Armando Diasario. I'm talking about Tombs of the Blind Dead. How do you not love that? Look at that. Fantastic. Extras, alternative opening sequence, Revenge from Planet Ape, theatrical trailer, poster and still gallery. This came out in 2010, folks. From Blue Underground. Okay. So no reversible art on the Blue Underground release, but a nice chapter selection as being a part of the case. The actual, not the case, but, you know, you got the nice chapter selection. I think chapter selection should come back. I really do. I think it's an element that I miss. Whether it's as beneficial as I could try to argue for it or not. Some people could say, what's the point? I know I just want to go to the point where I left off. But what's cool about it is somebody had to go through the act of naming all these. That's just a charming element that I like. So, and I have to imagine that this DVD probably doesn't look that bad. I mean, these companies were still doing good stuff at the time with these DVDs. So the picture quality is probably pretty fine on this. So, Tombs of the Blind Dead, guys. This one is something I was so excited to find. So I'm really working on the Anchor Bay collection, guys. I mean, I really am. I've got some pretty great Anchor Bay releases. I have another video I'm about to film. It may be out already. It may not be out already, but I found some killer ones. But I was really hoping to find this one day. Now, there's another one I want to watch. I want to get called City of the Walking Dead from Anchor Bay. I got to get that one. But I was super happy to find this. The title in question is quite possibly the greatest Italian horror movie by many. For me, it's Zombie, but if you told me it was this, you'd get no argument from me. I wouldn't even bother arguing it. And there's something about the DVD release of this that just feels right. Okay? The movie in question, I'm going to shut up and say the movie in question is City of the Living Dead, a.k.a. The Gates of Hell, the Lucio Fulci collection, okay? The Lucio Fulci collection from none other than Anchor Bay. Everything about this just looks and feels right. I love the fact that we're using the iconic Gates of Hell artwork for the cover, which this is such an iconic piece of art, the Gates of Hell artwork with that hazy green fog over the city with this giant zombie head. Like, it's just creepy. It doesn't encapsulate the movie, really, but it also works perfectly. Like, I wouldn't change it. But they're using City of the Living Dead as the title. So you're getting the best of both worlds from me, right? Because the reality is, I prefer the title City of the Living Dead. I'm in the minority. I don't know what it is. Like, people are like, Christian, Gates of Hell is such an amazing title. You know, you're right. You're absolutely right. But something about Of the Living Dead is, I'm so fond of that. So City of the Living Dead just works for me. So, what does this have? This is, what year did this come out, guys? This DVD came out in 2000, okay? So, pretty cool. Widescreen presentation, 185:1. It's enhanced for 16:9. Theatrical trailer, radio spots, and TV bios. Now, what's so cool about this is, I don't know if this is going to pick this up. Okay, what's so cool about this is, you know, you're looking at the case. It's like, oh, you got your girl here, you got this. Okay, you got your stuff. But if you look at it from the right angle, look, do you see the twin zombie heads that are on the alternate poster back there? Like, there's a lot of detail on this. You see them? There's the eyes. There's the eyes. You see the two heads? Oh, it's amazing. Now, what really won me over was it comes with the poster, the insert, and on the other side it should be the chapter selection screens. Let's double check. It is the chapter selection cards. These are amazing. Like I said, I think I was just talking about this. I'm old, so I forget stuff, but somebody has to go through the effort of naming all this. Remarkable. How do you not love that? So, nice disc, nice solid disc from Anchor Bay. Very, very clean. So, City of the Living Dead. I'm so happy to have this to add to my Anchor Bay collection, because, you know, finding these in the wild, I'm telling you guys, right now is the time. Right now is the time. City of the Living Dead, amazing. This is wicked cool. So everybody's getting into steelbooks right now, or has been for a little bit. Let me get a sip out of my Friday the 13th cup that my wife got me, and I'm forced to drink out of. So right now the steelbook thing is all the rage, right? And one of the big things is steelbooks having that sliding see-through cover on them. I thought that was a new thing. Okay, I really did. I thought that was a new thing, and that was a way to protect the steelbooks. The companies like Lionsgate listening to their audience. Clearly, people like that, so they're doing that with their releases. Did it start with steelbooks? No, a lot of you veterans will probably say, no, I didn't know that. I don't know if it started here, but this is, in fact, an Anchor Bay release with a sliding, clear slipcover. Amazing. Now, the movie in question is a movie called Malevolence, folks. This is a Divimax series, Anchor Bay. Got that beautiful sailboat logo. And what's cool about this is you got to have this to be able to get all the fixings, right? Let's say you're going to rent this movie, you're going to buy this movie, you want to look at the back. Well, guess what? You have to have this because there's no bio on the movie on the back. So let's look over it. I haven't seen this, guys. Let's look at the year. First of all, this DVD came out in 2004. What is Malevolence? Let's see. It's 10 years after the kidnapping of Martin Bristol. Taken from a backyard swing at his home at the age of 6, he's forced to witness the unspeakable crimes of a deranged madman. For years, Martin's whereabouts have remained a mystery until now. When a bank robbery goes wrong, desperate felons Julian, Marilyn, and Kurt scatter to meet up later at an abandoned house in the middle of nowhere. Grabbing hostages Samantha and her young daughter Courtney along the way, the group has no idea that the house they've chosen for their seclusion is about to become a hunting ground with them as prey. Jesus, that sounds brutal. Wow. So it's got Brandon Johnson, Samantha Dark, Heather McGee, and Courtney Bertoloni. Not names that I'm super familiar with, but I'm sure I know the faces. So, I mean, look at that, guys. Now, if you found the DVD just like this, I would still say get it. It's a cool holographic. You can see no one gets out alive, no one. But there is no, you're missing the bio on the back. But very, very cool. I mean, to beef up my Anchor Bay collection and get one of these titles that has the slips like this, forget about it. Are you kidding me? Who's passing this up? So, very, very cool. Hopefully, some of you guys have seen this and can let me know about this. Next up, guys, I've never seen this movie, but the artwork on it got me. Another Scream Factory IFC collaboration. We got Stung, ladies and gentlemen. Stung. Look at that. Don't know if this had a slipcover at all. It does have reversible art, and I'll show it to you on this side. And it's kind of cool with the big wasps, but I really like this formal kind of art that they have on this side for this movie. Just won me over. Let's read a little bit about this, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Michael Gingold actually reviewed this. Michael Gingold. I saw him in Search of Darkness, and he does a lot of write-up work on like the Friday the 13th box set, a lot of home video stuff that we get. All right, a fancy garden party goes terribly wrong after a local species of wasps mutate into giant predators. It's up to Paul and Julia, two catering staffers at the high society event, to stop the killer creatures. An effort that kickstarts a budding romance between the two. The buzzingly fun thriller also stars Lance Henriksen and Clifton Collins Jr. Lance Henriksen, it's over. I'm watching it. If it's got Lance Henriksen, that's it. Stung, ladies and gentlemen, this came from 2015, IFC. Man, the IFC partnership is something that I wish I would have enjoyed more. I mean, I really do, guys. I feel like I slept on that big time. Now, this next purchase is a little bit of a silly purchase. The fact of the matter is, I thought it was a separate release. I completely forgot that Scream Factory had reversible artwork on their stuff back in the day all the time, so I double bought this, but that's fine. I'll do a giveaway with my You Need a Candles company with my other copy, and I will. And trust me, it's a title you guys could be interested in. The last title I want to show you guys was an IFC title, but it was big enough to where they did not need a partnership to license it out because it was a big seller. I'm talking about Maniac, ladies and gentlemen. This has the reversible art with let's see. Oh, cool. An excerpt from Bloody Disgusting. A whole write-up about this movie came in here, which I don't think mine other one had. This is the artwork that I had on my case, and I never thought to reverse it. Maniac. So I had this already, but guys, this movie is probably one of the greatest horror remakes of all time. Love it. Maniac, man. Elijah Wood killed it. Elijah Wood, what he did so well was, okay, let's say you're going to cast a Maniac remake. You may say to yourself, okay, let's do Maniac. Well, we need somebody that's a little bit burly. We need somebody that can be aggressive with women, blah, blah, blah. But what they did with this movie, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, is Elijah plays the Maniac in a way that would fit his size and stature. It's brilliant, people. Oh my God. It's one of the better remakes out there. And it's interesting that it's one of the better remakes for a title that is really aggressive and dark. So, to review, we got Maniac from IFC on DVD. We've got the Scream Factory IFC production Stung. We have the Sliding Slip from Malevolence, Anchor Bay. Hopefully some of you guys can tell me about this movie. We got the classic City of the Living Dead. City of the Living Dead, Anchor Bay DVD. This just feels right in the hands, ladies and gentlemen. If you can see this, oh God, don't leave it at the store. Excuse me. Blue Underground, Tombs of the Blind Dead. You don't see too many Blue Underground DVDs, but I implore you people to look for those. This one's cool. God, The Midnight Man. Scream Factory. Slipcover, hype sticker, Robert Englund. Lynn Shay as well. I forgot to mention that. Really excited to see this. And of course, we've got Scarecrows Gone Wild with the great Ken Shamrock. CED of Scanners. Hopefully you guys got a little bit of education. You know, I try to provide education in any sense when I do these videos. I don't want to just say, hey, look what I got. And again, if you can see this collector's edition DVD of Zombie, I can't really tell you that the quality of the image of this is going to be super, super great. It is VHS, so keep yourself, level-headed about that. But in terms of the physical nature of this is sensational. The quality of this is just remarkable. So there you have it, guys. That is the flea market haul. Thanks to my pal Zach over there, man. Can't wait to come back and visit you again. Hopefully pick up some more cool stuff. Guys, the deals are out there. Go get them. Huge giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind the scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.